Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Breaking the Meta. As you can probably tell by now, this week's Pokemon is Scyther. Now this is a favorite for a lot of players from the first generation, and you can obviously see why. I pulled up its stats for the first part here, so we can just take a look at those. The ones that probably stand out to you immediately is that really good attack and speed stat, especially for a first generation Pokemon and a first evolution as part of an evolutionary family. This Pokemon is just amazing. Fun fact for you guys, Scyther and its evolution Scizor actually share the exact same base stat total. The stats are just rearranged to kind of level it out a little bit. So let's look at our Pokemon here. Scyther, one of his best abilities to use is definitely Technician, which lets him power up moves with an attack of 60 or less, and lets him do 1.5 times damage. Honestly, Technician is really the only ability you'll ever want for your Scyther. I guess you can do some sort of weird subset with Swarm, but I wouldn't really try it. Bug's not a really great offensive typing unless you're, going for Psychic types, which I can see why, but I just don't really ever suggest using Swarm, but don't use Technician, especially for this build. As you know, this is about using Pokemon in a higher tier, so this is hopefully the best build that we can accomplish right now. The moves we have chosen for the first build for Scyther is Aerial Ace, and this is an all-out attacker, Knockoff, Bug Bite, and U-Turn. Aerial Ace and Bug Bite are his two main damaging moves there. He gets Knockoff to help disable an opponent and hopefully kind of nerf them. And he gets U-Turn so he can get you Switch Initiative right out of there and do damage the entire time. Since it's a bug move, he gets stabbed for it, and it just makes an excellent choice for Scyther. I'm running Eviolite on mine because it gives him amazing defenses. It boosts his defenses of, well, technically speaking, it boosts this 80 to pretty much 120 and 120 in both stats, which is actually a really good distribution. Things to remember though when using Scyther, and we're going to get into this a little bit more in depth later in this episode. Since he's a bug flying type, he does take half health when entering on Stealth Rocks. That is very important to remember because he can really only survive one switch in. But since ours has a odd number HP, he should in theory be able to switch in twice and have 1 HP remaining. Though I can't guarantee that, that is just what I've heard and that's what I believe. If you can please leave down in the comments if that's true, I'd really appreciate it. There's not really much else to say about this set. It's just kind of a set that uses an all-out attacker. Bug Bite's on there instead of other more powerful moves because it is just at a base 60 as you can see here, so it gets boosted to a 90 base power. The Steals and Easy Targets Berry thing can actually really screw someone over who's using a special set. But it's really just more there as an offensive stab move. On to our second set here. It is a support Scyther. Now, this may sound weird, and it is kind of a weird build, and I can't really say you'll get the best success out of this, but these other two sets are just kind of interesting takes on Scyther that might throw your opponent off guard. We're running Baton Pass on here so we can switch off these Swords Dances to another Pokemon. That is actually really good to do. You can Swords Dance up on a switch, knock off the opponent's item, and then Baton Pass on out of there if you want. And he's also carrying Tailwind, which is actually a really good move for getting your slower Pokemon right out there. It doubles the speed of all your Pokemon. That is really helpful for the slightly slower sweepers that you might have there, or those Pokemon that just need that little bit extra to outspeed. It will really help your team there. Scyther himself won't gain that much from it, but that's why you can Baton Pass off his Swords Dance into another Pokemon, and suddenly you have another Pokemon set up with some really nice speed and really nice attack. Now, one thing to remember here is that you could go, instead of Tailwind, and go down here and take Agility. That would definitely be an option on this build. We are running him max HP, max speed, along with the Eviolite item to keep him bulky. This is actually a pretty decent set for that. He should be able to stay around. If I were you, I would go ahead and experiment with different things to throw in here. But I honestly think Tailwind and Swords Dance and Agility are really his best support moves. Knockoff has to be on there though to help him neuter your opponent. It's just Honestly, such a great move this generation is it getting buffed to 65 base power. He will honestly, with his great speed too, be able to knock your opponents off guard and just do amazing things for your team there. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best set for him, because, as I said before, the all-out attacker set has the exact same move, and really helps him out too, but he's a lot less bulky. And without further ado, let's go into our final set. This is one that I never recommend, but you know what? If you want to try it, it's here for you to try it. So this is a special attacking Scyther. A lot of his moves, he does actually have a pretty good special attacking move pool, but the problem is that his special attack is just doo-doo. Utter doo-doo. So we have Air Slash and Bug Buzz as our two stab moves there. Air Slash also gives him a chance to flinch the opponent. That'd be an interesting way to do that. I can't really see him being a good flinch para Pokemon or anything like that. I mean, he's got really good speed, so I can't really say anything about that. But once an opponent's paralyzed, speed doesn't really matter as much. We have Vacuum Wave on him for a priority attack, kind of like his very own version of Quick Attack. It just kind of gives him that extra, and honestly, I was just trying to find good things in the special attack and move pool. He's got good stabs, but other than that, This is here just so we can get the nice priority against someone, you know, like finish off a weakened opponent. Let him have a little bit of a revenge killing roll. The HP Electric in there is just, honestly, I could not think of a really good HP for him, but he does get the Technician boost to his hidden power, so it's definitely something to think about when you're firing off a base 90 hidden power. He's running max special attack and max speed, timid nature to give him a better speed there, just maxing out on that. Now, as we talked about earlier, he does have that rock weakness. We're going to talk about a couple good teammates for him. First of all, for Scyther, you probably want to be running yourself a good old-fashioned Donphan. Not only is it physically bulky, it can take those rock-type moves really well. He's also a rapid spinner, as you can see here. And that means he can free up your field from hazards so Scyther can safely switch in and out. He is an invaluable teammate for Scyther, so if you want to use a Scyther on your team, I definitely suggest Donphan as another Pokemon on there. Now, Scyther is a powerful physical attacker, so when putting him on your team, you will probably want to put another special attacker with equal power, or a special attacker that can help balance out the team, you know? I don't really have a team pre-made here, so I can't suggest one, but I can definitely suggest a special attacker that helps cover some of his weak spots, and would help him move through some popular special walls like special walls, like physical walls. Like, Trevenant, and that's not really popular though, that's popular in the lower tiers, but Scyther is a lower tier Pokemon, so that's probably something to remember there. Donphan is in UU. But he's been in OU in every other generation as far as I know, and he's honestly an invaluable Pokemon. Do not look at that UU and think he's weak, because he's amazing. He is a little bit slow though. Just the slightest bit slow. But that is okay, because he makes up with it with raw defense, raw HP, and raw power. Now, special defense isn't that great too, so you want a good wall to cover him, especially since he has a massive water weakness, and water is a really good offensive typing. You might want also to remember, you might want HP Grass on your special attacker, because Scyther cannot bust through Quagsire very easily at all. Definitely some food for thought there, but if you guys have any suggestions also for the teams, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave them in the comments there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and without further ado, I hope you all have a great day.